Hello and welcome to Mindful Living, where we explore the art of living with the intention, balance, and inner peace. I am Avik, your host, guiding you through conversations on health, meditation, mental well being, mindfulness, and the mind body connection. Each episode features expert insights to help you grow, heal, and thrive. So, take a deep breath, relax, and join us on this journey to a more mindful and fulfilling life. So, let's get started.
Hello and welcome, listeners, to the Mindful Living podcast, where we explore the transformative power of mindfulness and how it can help us navigate the journey of self discovery, balance, and personal growth. Today, we are honored to be joined by a remarkable guest, Rudy Daniel, an entrepreneur in the mindfulness space, author, and philosopher originally from Armenia. As the co founder of the Affirmate app, a powerful tool designed to connect mind and body in just 90 seconds, and author of Behind the Mask, Beyond the Mind. He has spent years exploring the deeper mysteries of life. His journey led him to study Eastern philosophies like Hinduism, Buddhism, and Taoism alongside Western traditions, ultimately transforming his perception of existence. So, listeners, join us as we dive deep into mindfulness, unravel the mysteries of consciousness, and discover how to find balance in mind, body, and spirit. Rudy, welcome to the show, and it's an absolute honor having you today with us.
Sana, thank you very much for the lovely introduction. I'm happy to be here.
Lovely, lovely. So your journey into mindfulness, it began in your mid-30s when you found yourself questioning the deeper meaning of life. Can you share a bit of that journey? What led you to that moment and how it changed your approach to living?
Sure. So this journey began in my mid-30s, as you mentioned, but
Mhm.
actually it began much earlier in my childhood because my childhood was full of mystical experience and phenomena that only children has,
Ah,
that every one of us as a child has.
yes.
And these experiences left a very deep impression on my deepest part of me. And when I grew up with time, I kind of lost it and lost all the magic, and I was drawn into the mundane life, which in the midst of my 30s was starting to become a very difficult drag for me
Mhm.
to keep all my personalities and all of my masks that I've accumulated during this time. And everything seemed very dull to me and very mundane and unfulfilling. So, from these deep feelings of unsatisfaction and feelings of I've had enough, this kind of led me to start the journey of exploring inwards because I was kind of done with exploring outwards. I felt that everything that, or most of the things that I wanted to explore outward, meaning career, family, hobbies, relationships, everything was
Yeah.
already kind of in my back pocket. I've done that, and still I wasn't satisfied with life. So I began the journey inward again, and it led me to my childhood back. So it's a kind of a cool cycle.
Wow. That's really, really an interesting journey, and thank you so much for sharing this with our listeners. So coming to your exploration about wide range of philosophies from Eastern traditions like Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism. to Western thoughts as well. How have these influences shaped your personal mindfulness practice and the philosophy, the core behind Affirmate?
Yes, so I feel that the philosophies that are originated, or maybe the teachings, it's more than a philosophy. Philosophy, it's we use this word as something that is more fancy,
Yeah,
which implies people that sit around all day and kind of philosophize with each other. And
yeah.
in the Eastern, it's more of a tradition. It's
Mhm.
something that every child knows, or every family knows, and these are deep rooted in the culture. And I feel that like these teachings um, have they gave me tools to unpack the mysteries of what I was seeing when I was searching within myself, because it's not enough sometimes to only have the experience.
Mhm.
Some There are many spiritual experiences, mystical experiences, and so on. But if you have the proper tools, you can unpack them, and then you can understand what you are going through, and that will help you to go further. So I feel that the Eastern traditions are very subtle in this way, and they have a lot of great metaphorical ways of teaching people the essence of the inner journey, of the essence of our true selves or the illusory self. And it's I feel like I gained a lot from Eastern traditions and Eastern
Mhm.
thought, and also complemented by Western thought with people like Jung and a lot of different people, really, that it will take too long to name. But I feel that nowadays there is a great synergy between East and West in terms of trying to understand what the nature of reality is, and we're
Mhm.
getting somewhere with this. And the philosophy of Affirmate, the app that me and my co-founder launched a few months ago, is very simple. We are saying that in the regular way that people practice mindfulness today in the
Mhm.
West is mostly through the practice of meditation. This is
Yeah.
the main theme.
Mm.
And I know as a Westerner that meditation, as we practice it in the West, is not the proper way. Meaning
No.
that people from the East practice meditation with a context of their culture and in the context of a certain teaching and philosophy. It's more than a practice. It's the essence of one's being. And in the
Mhm.
West, we treat meditation as if it's some sort of like we've done with yoga. Yoga is like
Yeah.
it's like a gym now. I do yoga once a week, or I do
Mhm.
meditation twice a week. It's not about that. And this is why Western people, when they try to meditate, and by that I mean sitting with eyes closed, leg crossed, and trying to think of nothing, usually fail, because this is not the way to do it. And we
Yeah.
feel like the mindful approach to life is much easier for the Western mind. And by that we mean short, meaningful, impactful practices that you can relate to and slowly develop the awareness of presence. And we have begun with the 90-second mindfulness practice, which involved a tangible item like a ring or a necklace that is involved with the short meditation practice that we have there. And now we're about to release new practices that will contribute to mindful living. So it's doing small things, but engaging and again, impactful. Because once you keep practicing
Mhm.
something small, repeatable, and relatable, with time, it will open up the opportunity to live more mindfully and explore your inner world. So, this is in short the philosophy of Affirmate.
Wow. That's something very unique and very eye-opening. Um,
Thank you.
so, discussing on your app, Affirmate, it focuses on connecting the mind and body in a short 90-second practice. Can you explain the science and philosophy behind this approach and how such a brief or short moment of mindfulness can be so powerful?
Indeed. So let's start with your second question about the time. So when we're talking about mindfulness and when we're talking about the meditation, everyone that understands the essence of meditation will tell you that time has nothing to do with meditation. Thus, trying to meditate for 10 minutes or 30 minutes doesn't mean anything if 90% of the time you are thinking about, oh, my leg is itchy, oh, it's kind of hot in here, it's kind of cold in here, am I doing this right? So you're basically talking with yourself inside your head, which is absolutely not meditating. Once you have achieved the state of true meditation, it's a state beyond time, where 1 second of such a pure meditation could be a life changer. And this is the reason we know that quality is much superior to quantity, and we are not concerned in any way with long, prolonged practices. These are for people with a lot of context, background, and training. This is not for the regular Westerner. So this is why 90 seconds of concentrating and being fully present in a very unique visual and auditory practice that involves a tangible item is something very meaningful. So, for example, you're taking your ring that you wear, and during the Affirmate practice, you choose a certain category, let's say, of gratitude, and you place your ring on the phone. And while this 90-second practice is going, the affirmation that you have chose with gratitude is encoding the words of the affirmation into your ring. And after that, you wear your ring when the practice is over, and this is your tangible reminder. So let's say you're going about your day, and suddenly, you have forgot all about your morning practice with Affirmate, but you take a look and you see your hand and you see your ring, and you think, oh, I had an intention this morning, and my intention was gratitude, and this ring has just become a reminder of that. So this is what we mean when we are talking about a tangible connection. And for your first question of what is Affirmate and why we started with the 90-second, we think that this is the first step. We thought that this is the first step we should introduce to the world because it's so new and so unique. But now we are releasing more practices, like a full-blown sound healing session that you can modify the instruments and create your own experience, and intentional cards where you navigate your day. So it's again about short practices that make an impact on the individual.
Wow. That's really, it sounds very revolutionary, but at the same time convenient with access to everything on a single application. That's really great.
Thank you, Sana.
So, as we navigate through our podcast shows, we have seen that mindfulness, it has become a very popular concept. But many people struggle to incorporate into their daily lives. Although we have ways, as you mentioned, meditation, yoga, journaling, gratitude, practicing gratitude. What advice would you give to someone who's just beginning their mindfulness journey and looking to integrate it into their routine?
It's a great question. And I think that the most important thing is to first understand what is mindfulness. So mindfulness would be the backdrop or the canvas behind the painting. It is the foundation of awareness. It is the foundation of presence. It's implied in the word itself. It's being mindful. It's being full of mind. And that means being present. And as you know, Sana, through the Eastern traditions, the understanding of here and now is the understanding of the nature of reality. So here and now is beyond the concepts of time and space. And so mindfulness is an invitation And on this invitation, on this platform, you have many different methods. One of the methods, as you mentioned, is meditation. Another method could be journaling. Another method could be sound healing, and so on. So, what I would suggest to people when you want to explore yourself, you need to take a break from the noise of life, from all the concepts you have built. And how you do that? You do it simply by doing small things with full presence. So I like to give the example of a cup of a coffee. I give this example a lot. So when you drink a cup of coffee, there are basically two ways to drink a cup of coffee. One of them would be just throw it down your throat and get it over with, get this caffeine, sugar, and go to work. This is the way 90% of people drink coffee.
Yes.
The other way to drink coffee is being fully present when you're drinking the coffee. And that means you look at the coffee, you see the color of the coffee, then you smell the coffee and you let the aroma travel through your senses, through your smell senses, through your faculties of the sensory organs in your face, feel the warmth on the skin, and then you grab the cup of coffee in your hand and you feel the warmth and how it affects your hand. And you're totally immersed in the sensation of the coffee, in the experience of drinking. And when the lips touch the liquid, you focus your mind on the specific acts that you're doing with full awareness, not being lazy, just thinking through all of the actions that you're doing. And this is mindfulness. So it begins with the small things. You can practice small things of mindfulness. You can practice mindfulness when you're walking and being attentive to the steps that you take, the sensation of your legs going forward or going sideways or lifting or touching the ground. And what it does is that with time, when you're practicing the sensation of being fully present, a crack begins to open in reality. And through this crack, you can see that all your concepts of life are starting to go into this vacuum like a black hole. And new things are being introduced to you. And through this crack, you can see the profoundness of life. You can see the beauty of reality as you have never observed before. You thought that maybe trees are just wood for furniture, but then you see that a tree could be something divine and it's beautiful and it has so many attributes that you can just look at the tree for 30 minutes and not get tired. And you can breathe the air and enjoy the experience of breathing. You would be surprised at how we forget that breathing is amazing or seeing colors is amazing. And this crack in reality is the invitation of mindfulness to look at life from a profound point of view.
That's really beautiful. So, moving on to your book, Behind the Mask, Beyond the Mind, it dives into self exploration. So, how does the process of unraveling the mysteries of consciousness help individuals on their path to personal growth and development and a deeper connection with the universe?
Yes. So Behind the Mask, Beyond the Mind is the first book that I wrote. It's currently the only book that I wrote. And I wrote it after a journey of several years from the beginning of my journey inwards, but it actually covers my journey from the beginning when I came to this world. So from my childhood, throughout my adolescence, and now as an adult. And it's a kind of dialogue between me and the reader when I first introduce myself and kind of give the background of where I'm coming from. And later on, I presume questions. And the reader is encountering these questions and he's invited or she's invited to look inward and answer those questions. So it's not really a book about certain doctrine of how to live your life and what to do. It's more of a book. Maybe it's closer to the tradition of Buddhism, where it's based on a dialogue more than a teaching. So the dialogue itself is the teaching, in other words. So what I'm inviting the readers to do is basically question everything they know, not by giving them answers, but by just presenting different points of view and inviting them to delve deeper. And for your question, how will it help an individual? So it could be a terrifying experience to look inwards and understand that many of the things, if not all the things that you know, are based on perception, based on illusion. And the truth is much more subtler than that and much more chaotic in ways. So if you're hungry, if you're thirsty, to dive deep into yourself, this is the kind of journey you can take. But if you are not in this position, I would say that it could shatter your world into pieces and you will be more confused than you will ever be. So it's not something that I encourage everyone to do. And certainly I'm not trying to convert anyone. It's only an invitation. Well, the book itself is more, let's say, for people who are on the path, that are looking for clues, that are trying to understand. And yes, but if you are this kind of person, it could definitely benefit you in terms of you will say, "Oh, it's a great cosmic joke," and let's see how we can navigate this life beautifully as an art, and not to drag myself around from place to place throughout history until I die. So it really depends what kind of person you are.
Absolutely. Lovely. So, Rudy, before we wrap up the conversation, how can listeners hop on to your Affirmate app and also your book, or maybe connect with you?
Yes, so Sana, it would be great if you could leave the links in the description, and then listener could just click and go search. But you can search my book on Amazon, Behind the Mask, Beyond the Mind, and you can find Affirmates both on Android and iOS. And you can also go to our website, which is easy to remember, just affirmate.app. And from there, you can contact us. Me and my great co-founder are answering every contact form, and we actually look forward for people to give us feedback and engage in conversations with them. So if you're keen to talk with us or talk with me, you are more than welcome. I'll be happy to.
Absolutely. We'll definitely mention all the details in the show notes for our listeners. And Rudy, thank you so much, first of all, for sharing your incredible journey, your insights, as well as helping us be aware about what exactly is mindfulness with the gifts of Eastern philosophies and Western thoughts as well. Your deep understanding of this concept and the balance between mind, body, and spirit. It is truly inspiring for all of us. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Sana. Thank you very much.
Lovely. So, listeners, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Mindful Living podcast. And for anyone interested in exploring mindfulness further, be sure to check out the Affirmate app and Rudy's book, Behind the Mask, Beyond the Mind. You can refer the show notes along with this episode on your favorite podcast platform. Until next time, let's all strive to live more mindfully and uncover the deeper meanings in our daily lives. This is your host, Sana, signing off.